Now, much has changed in the period since the committee began its consideration of this petition, and its report recognises that. In December 2023, the delivery plan for completion of the A9 dualling programme was announced. This plan involves procurement of 4 design and build contracts, as well as, subject to further decision-making in late 2025, procurement of 2 mutual investment model or MIM contracts. Now, this approach was supported by a Cabinet decision to prioritise completion of the A9 dualling programme within its budgets. Now, since announcement of that plan, the Government has made good progress, including commencing procurement of the Tay Crossing to Ballanood project in May 2024, awarding the contract for the Tomatin to Moy project in July 2024, publishing orders for the Killiecrankie to Glengarry and Dalradi to Slough projects, and progressing land acquisition processes for the Tay Crossing to Ballanood, Pitlochry to Killiecrankie, Glengarry to Dalwhinnie and Cribbenmore projects. Now, I'll say more of the progress that has already been made and the further progress expected during 2025 in my closing speech. Now, I'd like to move on at this moment, please. On Tuesday this week, Transport Scotland published a report on the assessment of rescheduling and acceleration proposals for the A9 dualling project, which was an issue that the committee referred to in its report. Now, based on the assessment findings, the report did not recommend rescheduling or trying to accelerate the dualling programme, although it did recommend that further assessment be made of the potential for an advanced works contract at Downham-Spiddle Junction, which I've asked Transport Scotland to take forward. Now, it should be borne in mind that the potential rescheduling opportunities are limited. The first 2 contracts of the A9 dualling programme have already been constructed and are operational. The third contract reached contract award in July 2024, and contract award for the fourth contract is expected in summer 2025. So rescheduling is therefore only feasible in respect of the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th contracts, which are due to start procurement in summer 2025, winter 26-27, summer 27 and winter 28-29 respectively. However, as the 7th of these, the Pass Burnham to Tay Crossing, is already scheduled to start at the earliest date possible based on the expected date of completion of that project's statutory processes, and is not dependent on any other project, any change of date would mean delaying completion from the date currently expected. So in practical terms, the scheduling options are therefore limited to the timing of procurement and construction of the 5th contract, Pitlochry to Killiecrankie, the 6th contract, the A9 North MIM contract, and the 8th contract, the A9 Central MIM contract. So in a second, I'll come to you shortly, Mr Ewing. The report published earlier this week shows that rescheduling and reversing the procurement sequence of the 6th and the 8th contract would be expected to result in a delay of around a year in the overall completion date of the dualling programme. Now, this is due to the need to delay procurement and construction of the 5th contract to avoid an overlap that the current delivery plan has been developed to avoid due to road user disruption implications. Now, these changes in procurement sequence would also reduce continuity of the bidding pipeline of these projects, making them less likely to be attractive to bidders. And I appreciate there are a range of views on how completion of the dualling programme should be achieved. And on that note, I'll take an intervention from Mr Ewing.
Fergus Ewing.
The Tomatin Moy section was announced by Michael Matheson in February 2021. It won't be completed until 2028. So it will take 7 years from start to completion. There's 8 remaining sections. 8 times 7 is 56. Doing the sections one by one and using the traditional procurement method rather than the framework method surely is almost guaranteed to see the mistakes of the past repeated. And can the Cabinet Secretary say, in the consideration of the request that was made by all parties except the Greens last June at the meeting we had with yourself, the First Minister, what actual consultation was there by Transport Scotland with industry about how to accelerate the project in practice, given it is them who will deliver it?
all through the Chair and Cabinet Secretary and give the time
Get
back.
some time back, thank you. I think there's a number of points in there. I know, because Fergus Ewing has attended the briefings that I have provided on the A9 project, the idea that they're one by one, no, the whole point is that there's going to be concurrent work happening across the A9. So there'll be work happening in the south of the A9 at the same time as there's work on the north of the A9, and the processes for those will be happening simultaneously. And that is why actually trying to reorder the current scheduling would have an impact, because there would be dangerous concurrent issues that would have an issue on price, but also on certainty of delivery. And certainty is something that the committee was very keen on. Now, I believe that the report that we've put forward demonstrates that the plan established and published in December 2023 is robust and practical to undertake this large programme of works in the years ahead. We remain fully focused and committed to delivering what will be 50% of the A9 between Perth and Inverness Dual by the end of 2030, 85% by the end of 2033 and 100% by the end of 2035. Now, as I noted in my response to the committee, the Government considers that many of the committee's conclusions and recommendations in its inquiry report relate to two main themes, transparency and certainty. And I hope that the various activities that I've outlined in my response demonstrate the action that we are taking both in transparency and certainty. I'm wholly committed to progressing the programme, listening to keeping Parliament and local residents and businesses informed and engaged. We have regular meetings, there are newsletters, there's a new A9 dualling website. And I've noted the committee's recommendation regarding the establishment of a new parliamentary committee. Now, the Government is very clear that this is a matter for Parliament to determine. The Government will, of course, direct its reporting to whichever committee is appropriate, which is currently the Net Zero Energy and Transport Committee. The first of the 6 monthly update reports to that committee was issued on the 21st of November 2024, and I've written to that committee on 6 other occasions with updates. Now,